In this video, we're doing a mini class on sourcing items for Q4, specifically Legos. While my overall strategy doesn't change much for Q4, focusing on the same shoes, clothing, sporting goods, apparel, we'd be dumb not to at least think about taking advantage of Legos and other toy brands that really spike in demand for Q4. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Miles. I'm a 24-year-old online arbitrage seller. I've done about 2.4 million in sales the last 12 months, really shooting for 3 million in sales for this calendar year. Got a lot of work to do on that, and some of these Q4 items I'm buying now are going to contribute to that greatly. So let's jump inside my screen and talk about my Lego sourcing strategy for this Q4. All right, the Lego and toy mini class for YouTube today. I'm probably going to do a gigantic video talking about all this stuff that's hopefully will be over an hour long on everything, but just to get going in terms of why Lego and toys, right? So the big part is that obviously for December, the demand really increases on stuff. Naturally, with the holidays and toys are a huge thing, right? Also, they're in many cases cyclical in that a lot of types of items like deodorant, shoes, stuff like that, there aren't necessarily new versions of stuff coming out every year. In some cases there are, but from my experience, there's a lot of SKUs in like Nike, a lot of SKUs in some of the beauty categories and stuff that have been around for 5+ years and everything. So it's a lot more difficult to get those when they're necessarily expired, right? Or not probably going to be in stores moving forward. And the key is that Legos and a lot of toys in such cases, with new movies coming out, different stuff like that, and new themes coming out, they have a certain expiration date typically in terms of when the stores, Walmart, Target, stuff like that stop carrying them. And we're going to talk about how to identify that and many examples of that. When am I starting to buy? So honestly, I mean, I have so much product to buy now, to be honest, for quick flips and everything, that I'm really not going to start focusing on this stuff until probably into November on stuff. That'll also put me in potentially some return windows in case I need it via Walmart, such 60-day returns I think they have during Q4 and stuff. And obviously the big strike price is between Black Friday and December 20th. Like, that's the big time of year you can really make a bunch of money with this stuff, arbitrage in general, right? It's completely realistic to have 30% of your annual revenue come just in that, like, Black Friday to December 15th range with arbitrage and stuff, because your output's so multiplied. In my opinion, this stuff is more risky than quick flips, right? And I want to make it very clear, I've made mistakes with this stuff and had had a couple flips not go the way I wanted them to on stuff like that. But it's more risky because this stuff, you're oftentimes competing and waiting for Amazon to sell out, as well as competing with other third-party sellers, right? While with quick flips, like I like to do, I'm not selling stuff Amazon's on. If I'm selling anything Adidas, it's on variations Amazon's not on and stuff. And that's why, me personally, I'm a big fan of keeping my focus for December and Q4, not completely shifting my my thought process to toys when I have a great formula that already works. Obviously, I'm going to take advantage of some of it in that, based off last year's Q4 data, I'm a lot better at it now and everything. But I want to show you guys a perfect example right here. Okay, so this Lego Friends right here, so 41394, right? So we can see that right now it's like a 92 price, it's like an 100K rank on this. But if we go to the year-long chart, we can look at, okay, you see what this rank was last December. It's pretty consistently in the 15K, sub 10K range right there, and you can see Amazon was selling out. If we go to the total lifespan of this item, we can see that right here, it was originally released January 1st, 2020. Okay, so January 1st, 2020, 2 years go by, like I said, that cyclical nature of them. And then we can see that coming into Q4 of last year, Amazon starts to sell out. We can take away the new price right here, and see Amazon was in stock. They sell out, and naturally what happens to the third-party price in the buy box? It goes through the roof right here. And see now, pretty consistently, it's been over $90 for a while. And even just during Q4, it was, the volume was crazy. Toys at 10K rank during Q4 is really, really good. The buy cost was literally $40. I think I even paid 32 at some places, some retailers last November on this. So if I'm in like 32 or even 40, right, tons of sales going in like the $78, $80 range, right there, even without a buy box, doesn't matter, right? $78, $80 range. On these guys, just MF gum, call it $8 for ship right here on the SellerAmp. We can see that that is a nice little ROI right there, a little $15 profit piece on that guy. And the key was that I was buying this stuff in November, so if anything went wrong, I could always just take it back if I had to. But this was definitely something that performed well. And just in general, there's tons of stuff like this. And the key is that the cyclical nature of them, that 2-year lifespan, I actually think there were multiple listings on these two, which kind of complicated it more, which there shouldn't be on stuff, but there just is for whatever reason and everything like that. But you can see naturally, right? It exists for 2 years, goes out of stock. And especially if you can get stuff on like clearance now or potentially even just on sale, it's a good opportunity right now because Legos aren't going to be as much on sale in November and December, which makes perfect sense why they wouldn't be, because demand's the highest there the whole year on it, right? But they have these 2-year lifespans, right? So if you think about what we want to do for this year's Q4, it's getting sets that were released January 1st, 2021, or potentially before if they're still in stock. That's going to take a lot of digging on stuff, right? So they're released in these waves, right? And this website called Brickset right here has this really cool directory which shows you can literally find the directory of all the sets released in a given month on a given year. So for example, right, I'm looking at all the stuff that's released in January 1st, 2021. We can see here it's literally like 50 plus sets right here, for example. And right, if I go here, Jane, and looking back, another example of December 2020, right, stuff like that, click into Star Wars, have it up here on that, you can see the entire generation of stuff that was released that month, right? And you can see when exactly it came out, January 1st, 2020, January 1st, 2020, different stuff like that. You can see the piece count as well. I think the sweet spot's in like the $20 to $80 range, not on the really cheap stuff and not on the super expensive stuff on like that. But let's see this one. Yeah, this one's $90 retail, right? We'll take a look at this guy, right? Poe Dameron's X1. See couple listings right here on that. 134, because I assume this performed pretty well right here. If we go to the all, we can see came out January 1st, 2020 right there. Retail was 72. And then pretty quickly after, and we'd see this one actually didn't perform great during Q4. Interesting. People might have been buying it cheaper though. Like, we're not just thinking about the Amazon price right here on that. But in terms of just a long-term hold in general, someone who bought this with a long-term mindset did really well. 72, 133. It's $30 profit a piece, right? There's a big Lego investing community of people that would have bought this right here when it was 72 and then gone all the way up. And now literally it's just super, super profitable. I bet the rank will go down on this one too right here. But you can see how the demand weans off a lot because it's not as relevant anymore, because a lot of these are, pop culture oriented, stuff like that. If we look at the Lego themes right here, we can see a lot of the stuff I'm looking for is the licensed ones. It's the Friends, Ninjago, Minecraft, Disney, different stuff like that basically. So looking towards the future, right, I have some of these selected in terms of, okay, Minecraft 2021, right? So we want these January 1st, 2021 release dates and stuff like that, right? And everything. So if we can, some of these are smaller sets looking like, okay, 489, right? Let's look at this. 21176 right here. Okay. Right, okay. So we can see, so this one, interesting. So this one release date, I had it wrong. Yeah, June 1st. So I mainly, just to keep it safe, I'm looking at January 1st for the most part on this stuff and everything. But the key is that, right, I'm only taking pretty tactical opportunities where, like, potentially in 2020 it sold out, right? That shows Amazon might be forecasting, stock wrong on stuff like that, because there's so many quick flips to buy and stuff. And I think I'm gonna make a like what beginners get wrong about Q4 video on that stuff. But so many people completely shift their focus to toys and end up having to compete with Amazon and third-party sellers rather than just competing with third-party sellers and not going into the unknown and doing stuff and avoiding doing stuff they already know, right? Because it's very hard to do toys year-round on stuff like that. But I am definitely going to be buying some Lego specifically in November. A lot of stuff like this that's retiring, that has strong sales history. Maybe it went out of stock a little bit here and there, right? Just shows inklings of Amazon having the stock counts wrong on stuff like that. And the nice thing is Amazon shows recommendations here, and that you can pull up the waves from Brickset or just look at all recommendations on here to get more ideas really quickly. Just popping up a ton of these, right? We can see the release dates on stuff and then basically just break them down right here. Right, so we can see this one. This actually looks like a pretty cool set right there. Could see, okay, yeah, so this one was released recently, so Amazon hasn't sold out at all, so I'm definitely not looking at that one. Let's see, this one, new 2020, it's a pretty good sign right here. 950, interesting. Yeah, so this one was released in the spring of 2020 and still hasn't sold out. It went to the moon right here. But let's see if this is still in stock at retailers. Let's see, 15, not quite. Maybe Amazon's the only one still carrying this, but let's see. The ranks, yeah, the ranks sustained being really low for a while, and you'd see there was wealth generated here during December 2020 on that. It got as high as over $300 right there. So if I
130. Crazy stuff happens during Q4, and that's the key, is that I'm going to be merchant fulfilling a lot of this stuff, so my risk is hedged, so I can take advantage of this stuff like this if I'm diligently looking or have a VA checking or something like that daily on these. Yeah, this one's pretty young as well, right? So I'm looking for that stuff that was released, 1,000 days ago, or like 500 days ago, in terms of getting right up close to that 2-year lifespan, right out right there. And then same deal, right? Minecraft stuff right here. We can see that one we took a look at right there. So the key is that it's understanding there is a higher level of risk, in my opinion, with this stuff. However, there is greater upside in that there's a lot more volume on this stuff than there is on others. I'm going to be personally doing a lot of merchant build on these USPS free boxes, stuff like that and everything. But there's huge demand, cyclical lifespan, and it makes sense that because you're oftentimes worrying about Amazon selling out with toys in general on different stuff. Just a last bonus for this video in terms of other good toy opportunities right here. If you can do Hot Wheels Amazon exclusive right here. Amazon exclusive items are a really good opportunity as well. We'll pull up a couple of these, and I'll address more of this in the full Q4 video right here. But if we see these, I bet these go to the moon during Q4 when Amazon sells out. Right here, okay, this one's pretty new. Right here, this one aged a little bit. Let's get this keep up right here. Aha, okay, yeah, look at that last year, right? $13 buy cost right there, gets as high as 40. Got as high as, right, 35.40 last December right there. So that, my friends, is a great ROI. And look at that volume too. Insanity on the volume right there. Right? So who knows? Maybe this happens again, and literally it's sitting right here for an $11 buy cost on Amazon, and we can see they sold out mid-October or mid-November, and then didn't get back into stock until February, and a ton of great money was generated right here. Even if the rank went up, there was no competition on it, right? And keep alerts are a big thing. We did a really good buy box bandits with this guy called Jameson Philippi. You guys ought to check out that podcast. It's called the Buy Box Bandits right there, like the Amazon Buy Box Bandits. It's on all platforms. You'll enjoy that episode if you're interested in toys and stuff like that, because he's a lot more knowledge about it than me. But I definitely want to document and show you guys how I'm thinking about stuff and kind of my thought process in terms of why I'm staying nice and focused on the quick flips, stuff like that, because I wouldn't want you to get distracted and leave what's already working for you to potentially get in something with a little bit more risk in terms of at scale on stuff like that. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's crush this Q4. I'm going to be bringing out a whole big, long, hour-long Q4 sourcing video I'm super excited for on that. But thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Thanks a lot.